Good evening. The City of Peabody Zoning Board of Appeals meets tonight in accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 40A, and other applicable laws. Tonight's hearing will be conducted in the following manner. The Secretary will read the legal notice. Tonight, that Secretary will be Mr. Osborne, or state that such notice has been waived. All applications tonight will be heard in the order they were received in the City Clerk's office or as otherwise designated by the Chair. We do have 3 this evening. 2 are continued and 1 is withdrawn, and we will do that in a minute. The petitioner or petitioner's representative will come up to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and then present the reason and the subject of why you're here. Present that to the board. The chair may limit the length of all remarks. All parties in interest will be given an opportunity to speak either in favor or in opposition to a pending application, and the board may receive similar written communications to be placed on the public record. The petitioner will be given the opportunity to refute any such remarks. The decision will then be typed and filed with the city clerk. Once the decision is filed with the city clerk, there is a 20-day appeal period that begins. Okay, now I'll tell you what that really means. What that really means is when it's your turn, you come up to the podium, you state your name and address for the record, and then you tell us why you're here. Obviously, we have all our information, but there's always things that you can tell us why you're doing it. And you remember, you're here for dimensional relief. So we're not here for you to tell us, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but it's the truth. We really don't want to hear your life story. We want to know what you're building, why you're building it, and why you need relief. After that, we'll ask you some questions, maybe if you're clear and concise. We don't have to. And then it's very light tonight. Sometimes we have a room full of people because you have neighbors that will come and speak either in favor or against. There might be neighbors here tonight, I'm not sure. And we will ask those people to come up and speak either in favor or against. If you are a neighbor and you are here to speak either in favor or against, we don't want to know how late your neighbor stays up at night, if the leaves fall in your pool, if the dog barks till 3 a.m., if their son plays music and you can't fall asleep. We don't care. That's okay. We want to know why, if they're building an addition and it's going to overlook your pool or your backyard, if they're building something and it's right close to your property line, you don't like that. Hey, look, we understand that, because even if you're okay with it as a neighbor, you might not live there forever, and the next neighbor coming in might not be all right with a shed or an addition right close to the property line. So these are things that we take into consideration and that we're interested in hearing. We're not interested in hearing how much you love or hate your neighbor. So the other thing is that I want to say tonight, we've had some conflicts, little problems with people not pulling building permits. Can you believe it? Really? If you were going to bang a nail in a piece of wood and you're not sure if you need a building permit, please call the building department. Grace will gladly answer the phone and you explain it to her and she will tell you. You cannot build anything. You can't build a deck or an addition or a sunroom without a building permit. And I'm going to tell you one other little thing. We had a little situation lately with somebody hiring a contractor to repoint and reflash a very, very large chimney. And because that's structural and it entailed so much work, it needed a building permit. Well, of course, lo and behold, there was problems with the contractor, problems with the work, problems with the chimney. It became a big mess, and come to find out there was no building permit pulled. So, at the end of the day, if for anybody listening, you're doing anything with building, cement, just call the building department and see if you need a permit, because we really don't look too kindly on people, and it happens, coming up to us and saying, oh, well, we built this beautiful addition and now we need a variance, and we needed a building permit. Oh, okay, well, maybe you better just take it down because you should have known. If you're the property owner, you really need to have all your ducks in a row. That's my best advice. So, I'm not going to, I could talk all night on this, but let's continue. Let me see. So, if your neighbors spoke not in favor, you always have the opportunity to come back up to the podium and explain yourself. I don't think that will happen tonight, but you never know. At that point, the decision is typed and filed with the city clerk, and there is a 20-day appeal period. If you don't understand what that is, you can call tomorrow. Grace will explain it to you. You can't do any work for 20 days. In compliance with the open meeting law, this hearing is also being recorded stenographically by our clerk. When you're at the microphone, please speak directly into it and only speak when you are at the podium. If you sit down and you forget something, don't shout it out. Raise your hand. You can come back and speak. I don't ever tell anybody you can't answer your phone because you never know who's going to call you from home. But just silence it, and mine is not. There you go. Okay, so number 1 on our agenda is going to be continued, and I have the letter here that reads from Attorney John R. Kelty. This is for 124 Summit Street. Please accept this letter as a request that the above referenced matter be continued to the next scheduled meeting of the ZBA, which is October 20th. This is to enable the applicant to continue on resolving some issues with the abutting landowners. May I have a motion to receive?
Move to receive.
And accept?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's great.
Move that the hearing be rescheduled to the meeting of October 20th.
Wonderful. The next one that I'm going to take care of all of this now. Number 5 this evening is 261 Newbury Street. Okay, Grace. 261 Newbury Street, number 5 this evening, is being withdrawn. But please accept this letter as my request on behalf of the applicant to withdraw the referenced application, 261 Newbury Street, from consideration of the zoning board due to an error in the notice to the abutters. May I have a motion to receive?
So moved.
And to accept? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And the last one that we're just going to take care of right away is 32 Washington Street. From Attorney Kelty, please accept this letter as a request to continue the matter concerning 32 Washington Street to the meeting of October 20th, 2025. Motion to receive and accept. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Now we're ready for number 2, application of Robert and Barbara Murphy, 19 Monson Drive.
Notice is hereby given that the Board of Appeals of the City of Peabody will hold a public hearing on September 15th, 2025 at 7 p.m. at the Wigan Auditorium, City Hall, 24 Lowell Street, Peabody, Mass. On the application of Robert and Barbara Murphy, 19 Munson Drive, Peabody, Mass. For variance from the provisions of the zoning ordinance 2020 as amended section 7.2 as it applies to the premises known as 19 Munson Drive, Peabody, Mass. Map 032, lots 204. Petitioner seeks a variance to allow a 12 by 12 foot addition with relief to the rear yard of 27 plus or minus feet instead of 35 feet required. The property is located in an R1 zoning district. The application and plans will be able to be public and be viewed by contacting the zoning board clerk.
That's good.
Yeah.
Are you here? Name and address for the record, please.
Just hit the button right here.
Press the button.
There you go.
My name is Robert Murphy, and I live at 19 Monson Drive in Peabody. And I'm here petitioning to encroach on the setback from 35 feet to 27. The structure will be built on an existing cement patio. Of the 21 petitioners, I believe the only person who's going to see this because of the topography of my next door neighbor, Ed Murray. And he's going to see about the peak of this addition.
And is this addition a
It's, it's going to be a three-season porch. No central heater or air.
questions or concerns?
I don't.
Does your neighbor want to say anything?
I don't know. I was surprised he showed up, to tell you the truth.
Well, why doesn't he just come up and say his name and address for the record and whether he's for or against?
Edward F. Murray, 21 Monson Drive, next door to the Murphy family. I'm in favor of it. There's no problem as I can see. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, concerns from the board? Hearing none. Anybody else in the audience to speak in favor? In opposition? The matter is before the board.
Move to close the public hearing.
Thank you.
Second.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Okay, all right, here we go. So we're going to go with Mr. O'Brien.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Gilbert.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Osborne.
Yes.
Mr. Bakula.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Galuggi.
Yes, you've been approved.
Thank you.
Don't leave till you know you've been approved. You're all set. Yeah, you were assuming. Thank you. Next one is application number 3 of Joseph Estes, 60 Proctor Circle.
Notice is hereby given that the Board of Appeals of the City of Peabody will hold a public hearing on September 15, 2025, at 7 p.m. at the Wigan Auditorium, City Hall, 24 Lowell Street, Peabody, Mass., on the application of Joseph Estes, 60 Proctor Circle, Peabody, Mass., for a variance from the provisions of the zoning ordinance 2020 as amended sections 7.1.5F as it applies to the premise known as 60 Proctor Circle, Peabody, Mass., map 061, lot 147. Petitioner seeks a variance to allow for the proposed garage and requires relief for lot coverage of 832 square feet rather than 500 square feet. The property is located in an R1B zoning district.
Hi, my name's Joseph Estes, 60 Proctor Circle, Peabody. I'm going to have my contractor speak for me.
Steve Cummings, 57 Castle Circle. I'm here to represent Joe Estes at 60 Proctor Circle.
And do you have a business name?
Cummings Construction. So basically, as you can see, you have the plot plan in front of you. We're proposing more or less a 2.5 car garage to take up, because we're looking for some storage in the garage, because the shed will come down. The client has 2 larger vehicles, a pickup truck and an oversized Jeep, which takes up about 21 feet, which, with that being said, takes up most of a standard 2-car garage. So we went to 32 feet to allow some storage in the back. We also, in consideration of the neighbors, we held all the setbacks to the standards of 10 feet. So we're not asking for any relief on the side, the rear, or the height. And as you can see, it is a larger, pretty good sized lot, 12,500 square foot, a little bit of an odd-shaped lot, which is, our preference was to connect the garage to the house, but that would have definitely encroached a little too close on the neighbors, we felt, which is why we went with the detached garage. Any questions from the board?
Yeah, it's one story?
Yeah, it's a story, it's got some storage up top. No living space, obviously. What was do you remember the height of the garage, Joe? 25 feet to allow for a loft up top.
So if we condition the permit that there's the loft of the garage would be strictly for storage and no living space provided. Is that a problem?
It wouldn't be a problem, as you, as you know, and we're not going down this road at all, but
Right.
it kind of opens up the door for, I don't know that you can technically put that on there because we have the new ADU, and we're not going down this road, but with the new ADU bylaws, I think it would supersede that condition if you put it on there or if you didn't. To us, it doesn't matter if you put it on there, but the ADU bylaws are a as-right by use, so if the structure is there, again, we're not going down that road, we don't care. However, I think anybody else could come back to you and say that that would not be.
Seeing you meet all the setbacks, that's a good point. I was going to say if you didn't, they'd have to come back.
Right.
Okay.
So, are you done?
Yeah.
So you're going to take off, you're going to remove the shed,
Correct.
and the deck is to be removed?
Yes, that is correct.
And what is this with concrete patio?
So there's a patio there now off the back of the deck. That will all be removed.
So the deck and the concrete patio will all get out?
So is there
Correct.
only going to be one door to the garage?
So there'll be a overhead door and a man door.
Just one though, right? Because the way the patio is, it's kind of blocking
Yeah,
half
it's
of
kind
the
of
garage.
to hold the 10-foot setback, it's a little tough. So we're going to do probably, a 20-foot door or
Oh,
an
it's an
18-foot
oversized door.
Yeah.
And I know this might be silly, but where's the driveway?
So, yeah, unfortunately, they didn't do a great job with that, but the driveway will be in front of the garage, where the deck and the patio is, that's where the driveway is. Actually, the driveway now is in front of the deck, which is very small. So with the deck being removed, there'll be a good-sized driveway in front of the garage door, with a driveway coming out to the street.
So you're going to hot top all the area there along the property line?
Yeah, we'll probably leave about a 2 or 3 foot buffer along the neighbor, just to be neighborly. I believe the bylaw says you need 2 feet regardless.
Any other questions? Ooh, any other questions?
Through the
Comments?
chair, 500 square feet is what's allowed, and you're requesting 832. Have there been any conversations about moving the shed and reducing the size of this garage that, in my opinion, is way too big?
So, in my opinion, and this is only my opinion, the average 2-car garage itself is 24 by 24, which is over 500 square feet, which is allowed. And then if you take away, generally you have a 10-foot foundation all the way around that sticks up into the garage. And what people don't realize is just that, 10-inch, just that 10-inch foundation all the way around, you lose 116 square feet already of that garage. People don't realize that, which cuts down on the, we go from outside dimensions. However, that doesn't really help you when you put your vehicles in. So a 22-foot garage actually comes down to 20 feet inside. And as you know, just in a parking spot at the mall, if they took away 1 foot of that parking spot, it would be pretty tight. So, that's why, again, we jumped up, we're trying to make the property look better. We jumped up to the 832, so there's some storage in front of the cars. The average pickup truck is 20 feet, which would, if we even went 24 by 24, it's basically bumper to bumper in the garage with no storage at all. So aesthetically, we'd like to get that shed out of the setback. Probably, it's been there for a long time, probably shouldn't be there. but we'd rather keep all the storage and just keep one building.
Now, I'm just curious, what's the height of the garage going to be?
25 feet?
I think that's...
25 feet.
And so, like, how does that compare to a two-story dwelling?
It's 20, it's a little shorter than the dwelling itself. It's kind of it was a Cape-style home that the roof was raised, but they raised it kind of flat. So typically, most other houses that have a second story would be higher, but he's got more or less a flatter roof.
Yeah, I was just a little concerned that we're going to look actually bigger than the house.
So we.
Yeah.
I care more about aesthetics than Joe does, but
Yeah.
I think that's also why we turned the garage, so so it kind of, we can offset that look, and we do want to keep it lower than the home.
And if I'm looking at this right, there's no entry to the home from the deck.
So the entry will actually swing around. Either we'll do a 3x3 platform where the deck is now, a minimum platform, or we'll swing the platform around the backside and just go minimum 3x3 with a doorway, and just do a patio versus a deck.
Okay.
I don't know, not that it's any of my business, but why don't you take out the deck and that patio and make it a nice garage and put the deck around the back of the house?
So, it's an option, obviously.
Would open it up.
As far as, you mean leaving the garage where it sits? It's an option we've talked about. It's just, it's only two steps. It's 2 steps down to the grade.
Is that what it is? It's not much of a
Yeah,
grade?
it's not much of a grade. So it's an option, but as you can imagine, the cost of everything nowadays is
I get it.
more than all of us want to endure.
Through the chair, I'm still having problems with the size of it. The current house right now is 864 square feet, one floor, obviously, I'm not counting second floor. And we're looking for a garage at 832 square feet. So that garage is as big as that house. I really have a problem with the size of this garage. It's huge. Pickup truck in an oversized Jeep, what are those, 10 feet long? I think you said a normal, if you will, garage is 24 by 24. I just think you're asking a lot. If 500 is permitted, you're asking for 332 square feet over. I just don't want to open the floodgates on garages.
So just for the record, I mean, the truck is not 10 feet, they're closer to 20 feet. I understand your concern. Yeah, it's deceiving. Until you pull it in there and you go to shut the garage and then you got to open the garage to walk around the back, it is deceiving. And again, we definitely understand that. I understand your concern with the size of it, but we were looking at, the open space that we are leaving, and, it is a 12,500 square foot lot that I feel should count for something. Had it been a better shaped lot with a better placed home, we would be attaching the garage to the home and making it a lot different.
Again, through the chair, have you spoken to any of your neighbors?
Yeah. Yes. None of them care. You see, none of them are here. I mean, one of my neighbors is a dentist that's on Lowell Street.
Aren't they selling the house?
No, that's the house next door. Yeah, that's the one next door. I think they close Wednesday, actually. Yeah, this is the,
It's a nice house.
yeah.
Got
Big,
a pool in there. Yeah, it's nice.
too big.
We had on West Peabody, they ended up attaching it. I remember it was larger than the house in the front yard, and they ended up attaching it to the building. Yeah. Yep.
Are you done?
I think so, unless you would like me to add to it.
Well, anybody to speak in favor? Anybody to speak in opposition? It looks like right now the matter is before the board.
Do you guys, I know in other towns, are we allowed to poll the board a little bit to see which way they're leaning?
Nope. No polling here. We're still thinking, I guess.
Chris, would you have less concern if they change this to an attached garage?
They would still have setback issues, but I would have less of a concern because I'm far from an architect, I'm far from a contractor. Are there any other options to get this thing moved over or it's large. It's 332 square feet larger than what's permitted. That's, in my opinion, that's too much.
I want to say,
So I think you might be getting, you might be, how come I'm green? Hello? You might be getting a feeling that it's not quite the sun, the moon, and the stars that you're asking for, but you're getting close.
Just the moon.
You're getting close.
I think when we tried to attach it, it only left about a 2-foot setback, and I just felt that that was a lot to ask for the board, a 2-foot setback. Maybe I was wrong, but I'm not sure I would be too happy if my neighbor wanted to get 2 feet off my property.
That would, yeah.
And like I said, that would be our preference. We really did look at this a few different ways, but I thought it would be a waste of time coming here and looking for 2 feet.
Well, it would be better. I mean, is there any way that you could make it smaller?
If you made it smaller, you wouldn't need a variance.
Again, with the 500 square feet is under 24 by 24, the 2 vehicles would barely fit in there. Even a 24 by 24 is over 500 square feet, which is the average 2-car garage
So where's the truck now?
outside. The American dream. Nobody wants to clear their car off. I do, but nobody else does.
I've never had a garage, so.
Just through the chair, just 24 by 24, we're looking at 576 square feet. The ordinance, the zoning requires 500. We would have been moved on by now if we were looking for 576, not this large building.
Here's a suggestion. Do you think you maybe want to come back next month and think a little bit more about this?
That's what I'm kind of asking him, what he could absolutely live with for a dimension.
Perhaps a smaller building in a shed somewhere else in the property to make up the loss in storage.
I mean, a 24 by 30 is 720 square feet. Yep, I'm trying to work with you.
So I think right now, I could speak for the board to tell you that 832 is too big.
Okay,
Let's just put that right out there.
okay.
What's that?
832 is too large. Let's just say it the way it is. Now, let's see.
Do you think possibly the board would consider if we kicked it down over 100 to a 720 square foot? Would that be considerable? I mean, that's give and take. We're in the business of giving and taking, more giving.
So what would the dimensions be?
So 24 by 30?
So Grace, if they change that to 24 by 30, do we need another whole?
Well, they would have to
Yeah, it's advertised.
show, yeah, I mean, these heavens and they would just have to. Well, I mean, then you'd have to have them do an as-built plan. You'd have to have them show, you'd condition this, that they would show the building department
That would be fine. I mean, we'd be willing to do that.
showing a 720.
So we're actually, you'd be giving us less than we're advertised for, which I think is okay.
So are you in agreement that 30 by 24, that would become a 720 square foot
Yes.
garage, and you're happy with that?
Yes.
Good?
I think I could live with that.
Now, do you want to condition it that they have?
We're going to, yeah, we're going to have Barry condition it. The matter is before the board.
Anybody else? Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Move to approve, conditioned that the size be reduced to, what was it? 30 by 24, 720 square feet, and subject to acceptance by the building commissioner. As-built plan submitted to the building commissioner. Okay? Thank you.
Roll call vote.
Mr. O'Brien,
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert,
Yes.
Mr. Osborne,
Yes.
Mr. Bakula,
Yes.
Ms. Galucci.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so you are all set for that. Thank you. Any questions, you can call Grace tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yep,
Thank you. Thank you.
and,
Thank you.
okay.
I'll collect everything at the end. Yeah, I have my own copy anyway, so I'll collect everything at the end. Thank you.
So number 4, 29 Lynn Street, before we read that in, I have 2 letters. One by Vincenzo Pittone of 6 Lynn Street that says he has no problem with the construction, and Amanda McNeil, who says she has no concerns with the plans. Okay.
Question to the chief. What's the address, the second letter?
The second letter,
What's her
Amanda,
address?
7 Lynn Street? Oh, the second one,
7 Lynn?
7 Lynn Street Court. And the other address is 20.
Notice is hereby given that the Board of Appeals of the City of Peabody will hold a public hearing on September 15, 2025, at 7 p.m. at the Wigan Auditorium, City Hall, 24 Lowell Street, Peabody, Mass., on the application of Paul McDonald, 29 Lynn Street, Peabody, Mass., for a variance from the provisions of the zoning ordinance 2020 as amended, Section 7.2, as it applies to the premise known as 29 Lynn Street, Peabody, Mass. Lot 102-216. Petitioner seeks a variance to allow proposed addition with ADU above and requires relief from the front yard of 1.1 instead of 20 feet required. Left side yard of 1.7 instead of 15 feet required, and lot coverage of 35.4% instead of 30% required. The property is located in an R1A zoning district.
Are you here? Speaker's already on.
Okay, my name is Paul McDonald, 29 Lynn Street.
Okay, we need to hear from you about what you're doing.
Okay, what I'm trying to do is I want to make a unit for me and a place for my daughter and her husband upstairs. Living unit, and I'm going to live downstairs.
Okay, the first thing I want to say is you're asking for quite a lot. This is definitely the sun, the moon, and the stars, the way I put it. And the hardship that you put is basically you're creating the hardship. ADU, you have to abide by the rules, and you're just really, wow, asking for quite a bit. That's my comment. I'll hear what else everybody else has to say.
Through the board, questions for the applicant. Mr. McDonald, do you currently live in the front house part?
Yes, I do.
So my understanding is you're going to build an addition, and you're going to live in that part?
Yes,
And then your daughter is going to live in the ADU?
yes.
Correct, all right. Just some questions about the property. The pool's been removed, correct?
Yes, it has.
What's going on with the shed in the back of the property?
The shed is going to be coming down.
Is there anything stored in there currently?
There's some lawnmowers and
Okay.
stuff like that.
And what I would describe as a carport abutting your neighbor's property, that tan structure, is that still up?
Yes, it is for right.
What's in there, sir?
There's wood pellets for wood for
like a
pellet stove.
The pellet stove is in the current property?
Yes, it is.
I went to the property, sir. There's a lot of stuff there. There's a lot of, I don't know how any of your neighbors have not called about your stuff. You got to clean up that place there. If you're going to do all this nice construction and get all the stuff new, look at, there's some old motorcycles or dirt bikes or something up against the house.
That's being moved up the main.
Okay,
My
there's
stepson's taking it up the main.
gas tank, LP gas tanks for gas grills. Just a question I noticed on your property tax card. You applied for a permit, I think, in 2022 to convert the shed into a finished something. Was that work ever done?
Not that I know of.
How long have you owned the property?
45 years?
And you didn't apply for a permit in 2022? December 8, 2022? Convert existing shed into finished, and then the page cuts off?
No.
Interesting. I have an additional question, but I got to look through the plans.
Anybody else on the board want to comment on this?
I do. I also looked at the property and couldn't agree with Chris more. The house barely fits on the lot, the way it is situated now, with unbelievable close setbacks, okay? Now you want to put an addition with an ADU. And I mean, I just can't justify approving anything with 1-foot setbacks, especially considering everything you've got in there now. I don't know how you're gonna, I don't know how you're gonna do this. I mean, I definitely can't approve it as it's here right now. 1-foot setbacks just isn't fair. Now, I understand, I live in South Peabody, so I know the lot was there. I know it's been there forever, all right? But, it is what it is, unfortunately. That's what I'm saying is, I just think it's just too close.
The addition's actually
difficult.
larger than the house.
Yeah.
With the deck and everything, the addition's 39 feet 6, and the house is only 31.
Yeah.
Why can't they put it right there?
Yeah.
Question through the chair for the applicant again. Any considerations, Mr. McDonald, about putting the ADU in the back of the property there somewhere?
That's ages.
Like where the shed is now, like, we thought about that,
Yeah.
but like, when we came down here was like, but then you have to build basically 4 walls, so it's more money, like.
I understand.
When we like spoke to the person when we came down.
ADU sounds wonderful, but there's still zoning rules that apply and that you have to follow. And yeah, variances are great if it's within a zoning variance amount. This really isn't.
So what would actually be acceptable? I mean, your concern was about the house and all the stuff out front, out back, and
No,
I apologize for clarification. That was just questions outside of the variance. The issue is the size for me in the 1.1 setback on the side.
And the 1.7, so like we couldn't do an addition at all, like.
probably not what you're looking for.
But like, no.
It could be
like,
narrow and long and look odd, but to live in something like that, I mean, you're asking for 1-foot side clearance when it's supposed to be 20. I know the house has been there for years, as Mr. Osborne mentioned, but it's a lot. It's a lot. It's just, it's a lot. It's a lot to ask.
how much weight is given for the people in the area as far as the abutters that we supplied you, the letters? I mean, because there's only a few that are directly right there.
That's great, but at the end of the day, this is dimensional relief.
Gotcha.
I usually say in the beginning, and I didn't say it, and it has nothing to do with you right now, but not everything can get approved, because if everything got approved, we wouldn't have a zoning board. And as much as you might not believe it tonight, we, in the City of Peabody Zoning Board, compared to other cities and towns, neighboring, never mind Boston, we approve a lot. There are cities and towns, they don't even have meetings because nobody comes for a variance, they don't approve anything. But you have to understand that the rules and regulations, and we take everything into consideration within reason, but 1.1 when 20 is required, 1.7 when 15 is required, it's way over. Because if we approved it for you, and 2 months from now or 2 months ago, somebody wanted a little bit, it was a little less, and we denied them, it's just, you have to be consistent, and you have to, we can't, as much as we want to worry and be concerned with your personal things, we have to take that out of the equation. So you do have the room in the back, and I know it might cost you more money, I think you're getting the feeling right now, as I think I can speak for the board, that because of your dimensions and what you're actually needed and required,
It's too much.
Yeah. Like, if we did, like, would we have to get the variance for the ADU in the backyard? Like, would that be approved, like?
But, you know, if you need a couple of feet here or there.
Yeah, yeah.
I
But if
guess
we wanted to do an addition,
personally,
like, on the house, like, going up, would it be like, because there's like the addition on the house right now, like where the porch is, like, if we wanted to add above that
She
right
was talking
now?
about just lifting the roof.
Yeah,
Because right now,
we have like this slanted, like,
Yeah, well, the whole house got to be redone.
It
As you
has
see,
to
if you
be
brought, if
gutted.
you're out there, you see it, like,
we plan on
I mean,
gutting
that's
the
a-
whole inside and,
That's a great thing to pursue, and look, is maybe raising that roof, you know,
Adding
maybe
on where the
ADU,
existing
yours,
roof is.
Mr. McDonald, in the back, so it's smaller, and you blow out that roof for your daughter and her family. Just an option. It's just, the 1-1 is tough, is really tough to, in the lot is the lot. You didn't design the lot, I get it.
I mean, I'll give you my opinion. I think that's a great idea. I think it's your only option, to be honest with you.
like, going up
Going
and
up.
then doing the ADU in the back,
gotcha.
yeah.
so now do we have to go through another permit to put it in the back?
You have to get a permit, but you don't have to go to zoning.
We don't have to come, like, back
Okay.
here.
That's
like,
right, yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
We just draw up plans, get the okay, like we did originally.
Because it falls within the zoning.
Yep.
okay,
Once you fall within the zoning, you don't need an exemption.
Okay.
If it ends up being a footage roof, then you need an exemption.
okay,
Okay.
all right.
Yeah.
It looks like.
Good to know.
do they have to say? Do they
Yeah,
have
I
to say?
just need enough space for me and the Rottweilers.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah, yeah.
As someone mentioned, it's going to be more expensive than what's proposed, but far less expensive than building a house somewhere else, by far, or buying something somewhere else. But I think it's a great option. That's a great chunk of land. It's too bad the house wasn't in the back and that whole front was yard, you know? Then we wouldn't be here.
Yeah. I think what your best bet would be is to withdraw this without prejudice. That way you can refigure it, and you don't have to wait, you know,
Okay,
for 2
thank
years
you.
and all of that stuff.
Okay.
So we have to hear you say, I'd like to withdraw without prejudice.
I would like to withdraw without prejudice.
Move to allow them to withdraw without prejudice.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And if you, excuse me, have any questions, just call the building department, and Grace will guide you.
Grace will guide you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Grace, do you need this? Okay. Okay, and the last one tonight is 19 Centennial Drive.
Okay. Notice is hereby given that the Board of Appeals of the City of Peabody will hold a public hearing on September 15th, 2025 at 7 p.m. at the Wigan Auditorium, City Hall, 24 Lowell Street, Peabody, Mass., on the application of 19 Centennial Drive LLC, care of John R. Kelty, Esquire, for a variance from the provisions of the zoning ordinance 2020 as amended, sections 10.5A, B, as it applies to the premise known as 19 Centennial Drive, Peabody, Mass., map 082, lot 004. Petitioner seeks a variance to allow for increase in number of parking spaces available for patients with relief from sections 10.5.4B, where 25-foot setback is required and 1 foot is being requested. The property is located in an IP zoning district.
Before we begin, I misstepped. Tonight, we have a new member that I would like to introduce, and I should have done this in the beginning. Peter Bakula, we'd like to welcome you to the zoning board. Yay! Sorry, okay. Oh. Okay, Attorney Kelty.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk and members of the board. My name is John Kelty. I'm an attorney. I practice law at 40 Lowell Street, Peabody, Mass., and I appear on behalf of 19 Centennial Drive, LLC. This may seem somewhat familiar to several of the members of the board. I was here several months ago. At that time, I was asking for 2 sections of pavement or landscaping to be removed, and I was asking that we increase the parking number of parking spaces by a significant number. The board during the presentation, it seemed to be the position of the board or the feeling of the board that although I was presented with a denial, that perhaps a less aggressive and less intrusive plan might be able to be approved. What we did was we removed the intrusion into the front landscaped area that runs parallel to Summit Street, and instead decided to dig into the corner of the lot, which in so doing will improve our site distances due to the removal of some vegetation that has become a little bit overgrown. Inasmuch as I was given a denial, I did have to go back to the planning board under the issue of repetitive petitions. The planning board did vote to say that they thought it was substantially different enough for me to be able to apply once again to the board. And so tonight, appear before you this evening without intruding into the landscaping that runs parallel to Lowell Street and instead, parallel to Summit Street, and instead am asking to cut into a smaller amount of landscaped area that is on the curvature of Centennial. And there's actually a kind of a slip ramp that causes you, if you go straight ahead joining with Summit Street, you cannot take a right. In order to take that right, you've got to head down a little slip ramp that takes you onto the Summit Street in a southerly direction, and that's the exact area where we are going to create several more spaces and remove some landscaping that has gotten a bit tall. And we would ask that the board approve tonight's variance as it differentiates from the one which was denied. And we feel this is a reasonable use of our land and a more modest ask of the board.
Thank you. Comments? Concerns?
Question through the chair. I apologize, Attorney Kelty. Help me on this plot plan. Where am I looking? Bottom right corner? Top right. I see you.
Curvature you see, yep. I hope that your copy, yes it does. Your copy shows a shaded area. That's the area that we're claiming spaces. You had a plan that showed us doing the same thing all the way down Summit.
Again, to the chair. Additional, how many spots, Attorney Kelty, added? How many more am I getting? Correct.
I believe that I am gaining, I will have a total of, with the granted this variance, I'll have 171 spaces plus 5 van and ambulance spaces, and I believe it's giving me an additional 6. Oh, I'm sorry, 11. 11. And that 11 note is on your plan.
If I could, just, I have no problem with this whatsoever. During the time when it would affect, the traffic there is backed up all the way anyway. You stop and go. Even if there's no concerns about vision because the road turns right there. There's an island. There's nowhere else you can go. You can either go right or you can go straight and then go left. So I don't see it would have any effect of safety or any effect on traffic flow or anything. So I have no problem with this new plan at all. Thank you.
Anybody else from the board? Anybody in the audience to speak in favor? In opposition? Are you here for something, ma'am?
That's my client.
Oh.
That's my client.
Okay. Hearing none, the matter is before the board.
Move to close public hearing.
Second.
Move to approve.
Roll call vote.
Okay. Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Gilbert? Okay, Mr. Osborne?
Yes.
Mr. Bakula?
Yes.
Ms. Galuggi?
Yes, you're all set.
All
You've
right.
been approved.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. We are now adjourned. We will see you next month.
Very good, very good, very good.
What, Grace, oh yeah, there's no...